Welcome back to On to the Next Thing. I'm Michael, your host, and this is episode 31. Today's date is January 16th, year of our Lord 2026. Brutal. What a time. That means the vaulted, what the fuck? The celebrated year of 2016 is now a decade ago, almost. Well, yeah, the beginning of it is a decade ago. I don't know. The more shit that I see this year that's going to be like, ooh, this is the 10-year anniversary of this 2016 thing, the more I'm going to want to just gouge my fucking eyes out of my head and just blind and deafen myself so I don't have to feel the age of my interests cross 10 years, you know? That would suck. But, it happens to everybody. So, I'm not special. And probably neither are you. But, send me a comment if you remember summer of 2016 and how fucking dope everyone thought everything was going to be. And then how we got fucking rug pulled by the universe or the Mayan apocalypse or whatever you fucking believe. Anyway, today's episode is going to be primarily financial advice that isn't financial advice. I can't legally say that what I talk about here is financial advice. I don't want to get sued by anyone who somehow lose all their money through coin deposits by, spoiler, listening to this episode. So I'm going to say this is not necessarily a financial advice podcast, but this is kind of, sort of, a little bit related to financial advice. As a young person, my relationship with money has been complicated, but I think that probably I have some tips and tricks that are going to help you on your path of saving just enough money to stay above the poverty line and survive the coming apocalypse. But before we do that, we have to get right into bird news. Today's bird news, of course, all the top stuff is boring. You gotta scroll down a little bit. Like, the top stuff is like, ooh, snowy owl spotted in Milwaukee. Who gives a fuck? So fucking, I see snowy owls over here all the time. That might dox me a little bit geographically, but, you go above a certain line of latitude and you're going to find snowy owls certain times of the year. So it's like, I don't really give a shit about Milwaukee. Jersey bird keepers urged to register animals, blah, 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 blah. Bird flu, blah, blah, blah. More than 1,000 birders. That's not even birds. That's just a bunch of fucking old people with cameras. Blah, 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 blah. Bird flu, blah, blah, blah. CBS News. Viral body cam video captures Florida deputy wrangling large runaway bird. Now that's the type of shit that we want to see on bird news. Let's see what the full headline is. Viral body cam video captures Florida deputy wrangling large runaway bird. Quote, I've never handcuffed an emu. This is by Hunter Giesel from a couple days ago, but, that's okay. This is about weekly bird news, and we're pretty late in the fucking week. No thanks to me. Let's start the article. I'm going to cut that pronunciation. Let's start the article. A Florida deputy is going viral after body cam video captured the moments he apprehended an evasive and hostile subject, the sheriff's office said. That suspect, a large flightless bird. On January 9th, the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, SJCO, responded to reports of a runaway emu on County Road 13 about 20 miles west of St. Augustine. SJCO Corporal, I assume that's Corporal. SJCO, I'm just going to call it SJCO, I'm not doing the whole acronym. SJCO Corporal Keisler, whose body cam video was shared on the Sheriff's Office Facebook page, captured the entire incident. Quote, interesting, I'm in pursuit of an emu, Keisler is heard saying after he picked up the call. Upon arrival, Keisler located the large bird and absolutely unloaded on it. No, just kidding. Keisler located the large bird and began following it. Quote, I'm currently behind the emu, he's heard telling dispatchers. He's running back southbound in the middle of the road. Once he got close, Keisler could be seen in the video stepping out of his patrol vehicle and slowly beginning to approach the emu, trying to get the bird's attention. Once he got the emu's attention, it doesn't detail how he did it, but You know, those those types of police tactics are for special people only. Once it got the emu's attention, Keisler then attempted to herd the bird off the road. Quote, "You have some big old talons," Keisler is heard saying as he continues commanding the emu off the road. Once off the road, Keisler attempted to get the emu off the road. What the fuck? It says that so many times. Once off the road, Keisler attempted to secure the emu. However, the large bird ignored his commands, kicked several times using its large talons, and fled on foot recklessly, Sujko said. After a short chase, Keisler cornered the emu near what appeared to be its possible enclosure from which it fled. "I'll be honest with you, I've never handcuffed an emu before," Keisler is heard telling someone off camera, "but they'll fit around his legs and that'll keep him from kicking." Once Keisler got close enough to the emu, he secured the bird with a makeshift lasso and handcuffed its legs to render the talons useless, Sujko said. "Are you done resisting?" Keisler asked the emu. "I don't want to have to fucking kill you." After talking the emu down, Keisler was able to detain the emu without causing any harm or injury to the bird, Sujko said. "In my 25 years, I never handcuffed an emu," Keisler said on Facebook. "This is definitely a new one." According to Sujko, the emu was then reunited with its owner and returned home safely, and all criminal charges against the emu were dropped. Emus are native to Australia. All right, now they've run out of content for the article, so now they're just going to have a couple paragraphs about what a fucking emu is. Emus are large flightless birds that are native to Australia. The avian species is the second largest living bird in the world, only the ostrich is bigger, and the largest Australian bird, standing at an average height of 5.7 feet and weighing between 110 and 132 pounds, according to the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute. These were roughly my dimensions in high school, just want to put that out there. So it's a big-ass bird, because that's big. That's big. 5.7 feet, tall guy, all right? 132 pounds, that's built. And that bird has hollow bones, so you know it's big as fuck. In Florida, it is legal to own an emu, but it depends on the intended use of the animal. You know, I think in a past episode I talked about this. I read through some of the animals that you're allowed to own in Florida. Emu is definitely one of them. I think a zebra, you're also allowed to own a zebra technically in Florida. I don't think a lot of other states have that stipulation, but you know, Florida's kind of doing its own thing right now. Depends on the intended use and requires adherence to Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission regulations, with commercial farming often exempt from personal pet permits but requiring permits for public sales and display, and the owners must follow federal rules enforced by the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, APHIS, if the emus aren't strictly livestock. Emu farms are specifically mentioned as exemptions to certain permit rules for public sale and exhibition, but people still need to follow the right regulations depending on their specific situation. According to the National Zoo, emus are also fast runners, capable of reaching speeds up to 31 miles per hour as their long legs enable them to walk considerable distances or outrun danger, or the police. Is that the end of the article? Alright, ended it with a little one-liner. Good for you, CBS News. There's one other one I wanted. Oh, there we go. Here's something from the Washington Post. Now, democracy dies in darkness, but the Washington Post is illuminating stories like this. World's fattest parrots set for mating bonanza after bumper berry crop. Hell yeah. Let's see how many pages they can write about these fucking parrots. Oh, it's these parrots. It's the ground parrots. I saw a video of one trying to fuck a guy's head the other day. After a 4-year hiatus, conservationists in New Zealand... Yep, that's the New Zealand... It's the flightless kakapo. Yeah, that one. I literally saw a video of one trying to mate with a dude's head when they were trying to film a documentary. There's some odd little birds. Oh, it's fucking paywalled. Luckily, I saw that it was the kakapo before the paywall card came up, because otherwise I wouldn't have anything for you. Oh, I guess I can enter my email address. Not going to do that, though. Sorry, Washington Post. You don't get my business. You don't get my bird news business. Last one. Ooh, euthanized barred owl. Why would you do that? Fucking bastards. In Windsor. Boo, England. Boo. New study debunks 50-year-old myth about Hawaii's native bird extinctions. Let's do that. End it on a sad note. University of Hawaii at Manoa. A new study challenges a decades-old assumption about the loss of Hawaii's native water birds. Challenging a half-century-old explanation for the loss of Hawaii's native birds, a new study from the University of Hawaii at Manoa reports there is no scientific evidence showing indigenous people hunted water bird species to extinction. Published in the journal... I don't know. I never heard that theory before, so, I mean, I'm glad that myth is debunked, even though I've never heard it. I've mostly just heard it's the fucking tourism and industrial fishing and like pollution and shit and habitat loss. But it's good to know that the native people who I don't think have been a dominant force on the island for about 100 years aren't the cause of the water bird extinctions over the past century. Cool. Let's look at some details here. Ecosphere, blah, 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 evidence framework. After reviewing the available data, the researchers found no support for the idea that indigenous people overhunted water birds into extinction. Instead, the authors argued that multiple pressures likely drove the declines, including climate change, invasive species, and shifts in land use, many of these impacts occurring either before the Polynesian arrival or after indigenous stewardship was suppressed. Wow, fascinating. The study also suggests that several water birds now considered endangered may have reached their greatest abundance shortly before the Europeans arrived, during a period when wetland management was central to Kanaka Owi Native Hawaiian society. Refuting conservation theories. So much of science is biased by the notion that humans are inevitable agents of ecocide and we destroy nature wherever we go. This idea has shaped the dominant narrative in conservation, which automatically places the blame for extinction on the first people, the indigenous people of a place. Even when there is zero scientific evidence to support it, the myth of Hawaiians hunting birds to extinction took root in Hawaii and for decades has been taught as if it was a scientific fact, shares Koika Winter, associate professor at Manoa, Hawaii Institute of Marine Biology. Blah, blah, blah. She has other credentials as well, but I didn't really want to read all of those because it's like a whole paragraph of them. But honestly, that if that's like a real claim people are making, that sucks because that's not what I've been taught in any of my environmental education. So that's definitely some bullshit, and I didn't know it was a thing that needed to be debunked, but I guess it does. I mean, to be fair, it is human activities that caused a lot of these birds to become endangered, but. Yeah, the idea is that the indigenous people who have been there 1,000 years, who are the ones who just in the last 100 years or so caused the birds to go extinct. Yeah, that's even if you just think about that without any real studies, that sounds like a crock of shit. But I'm glad they found a way to put this in a published paper. Empowering indigenous stewardship. Yeah, I mean. See what's here. The authors say the findings could shift how conservation is carried out in Hawaii, with particular relevance for efforts to rebuild endangered waterbird populations, including, I can't pronounce that, but I can maybe pronounce the Latin. Okay, it's the Aleula, the Gallinula chloripus, and the Ao. And oh my god, a 3-part Latin name. Himantopus mexicanus Knudseni. Okay, that's crazy, but those are water birds. Recent studies support what Hawaiians have always known, that restoration of loai, wetland agroecosystems, is critically important to bring those water birds into abundance again, said Melissa Price, an associate professor who runs the Wildlife Ecology Lab at CTAHR. If we wish to transform our islands from the extinction capital of the world into the recovery capital of the world, we need to restore relationships between nature and communities. This new understanding could help change how we protect these birds and mend long-standing disagreements in the community. Eulalia Woodside Lee, who is not part of this research project, offers some reflections as the Hawaii and Palmyra executive director for the Nature Conservancy. For generations, Native Hawaiians have been criticized for causing the extinctions of our precious native birds. Once again, never heard this in my life, but I'm glad they're refuting it. This has contributed to a breakdown in trust between the Hawaiian community and conservationists, and the exclusion of Native Hawaiians from important conservation decisions. This study will help us to move past these untruths so we can all move together into a brighter future where our native species are thriving again. Well, that's good. That actually wasn't as sad as I thought it was going to be. All right, before we get into our main topic, let's let's quickly run through some recommendations. I've been watching the TV show What We Do in the Shadows, based on the movie What We Do in the Shadows. Original idea by Taika Waititi, and then a bunch of other, probably in the long run, kind of better comedy writers took over the TV show after that. But originally the idea was by Taika Waititi. And yeah, it's good. It's funny. It's got a great great opening soundtrack. You're Dead, by damn. Okay, hang on. I did want to mention the song just because it's fun. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead by Norma Tanega, who's a Filipino American folk singer who was popular in the 1960s and early 70s. Which, as we've mentioned in past music recommendations, is a era of music that I've become kind of attached to in a way. There's a lot of good artists from that time. A lot of artists who kind of like flamed out a little bit early, and who I think maybe deserve a little more appreciation today for their influence and for their kind of experimentation. And Norma Tanega is definitely one of them. She died in 2019, which I believe was the year the show came out. And so thanks to the popularity of the show, her music got a little bit of a bump. She was able to kind of put out one more compilation album, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm watching that show. It's funny. It's about a bunch of douchey, bumbling vampires living in New York City, and just kind of their life and times. It's like a mockumentary style, which is how the movie was filmed. A mockumentary, it's like The Office, basically. You got a camera crew following vampires around. And what the fuck was that? All right, that wasn't anything. Yeah, it's a fun show. It's a good palate cleanser after watching The Sopranos every fucking night for like almost half a year. It's something, even though it's still like kind of dark subject matter, like the vampires, they're funny, they're ridiculous characters, but they kill a lot of people. But it's not nearly as dark as the fucking Sopranos. God damn. Yeah, as far as films go, I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of movies lately. I watched part of The Rip, which is it's like a fucking crooked cop movie, like a lot of them that come out. Whereas it turns out the cops were pretty cool in the end, just like in real life. But yeah, that one was pretty good. It had Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in it, and some other actors who were pretty solid. But yeah, I'm planning to watch a lot more movies soon. The next one on my list is Heat, which I know has Al Pacino and a lot of other really good actors in it. And I don't even remember what it's about. I think it's another fucking cop movie. There are so many classic fucking cop movies. But yeah, I'm planning to watch that one soon, so you'll have my thoughts on it when we get to it. But yeah, not a lot of movies. Music, I went through a big spree of downloading music. Recently, I've been listening to some weird little modern jazz songs and things. I don't think I downloaded any of them, so I don't remember it. But I've been listening to the Spotify playlist State of Jazz, which is good. It's not one that pops up like instantly when you look for jazz stuff, but it's kind of just like recent jazz groups, different like trios and duos and some big bands, but like mostly trios, like jazz trios. And it's good. It usually puts through a lot of good songs for studying or working or whatever. Yeah, but recent songs I've listened to, of course, You're Dead by Norma Tanega. Been listening to some Isaiah Rashad. He's a very skilled rapper who I kind of only got into recently. Mixes a lot of good melodic beats with. He's got good delivery, good flow. Just overall pretty solid. He put out an album recently, and I think his last full album before that was in like 2019 or something like that. So he doesn't release that often, but he does a lot of collaborations with other artists, and overall just a good time, good artist to listen to. Recently downloaded Now and Then, the part Beatles, part AI song that like won a Grammy. The AI part is a little bit overblown. It's kind of just used some AI to like patch up the shittier parts of the audio. Because it was based, like the whole thing is based on just like a demo of John Lennon playing the piano and singing the lyrics, and then Paul McCartney and like Ringo and like a bunch of other musicians came in and added a bunch of other parts to it. So I guess as part of that, they were like, oh, let's see if the AI can kind of make it all sound a little bit smoother, and like I guess make the mix sound easier. Or maybe they just used it to make the fucking weird ass strings that are in the song. It's like, it's like trying to make that 60s rock and roll string sound. Who else? Dram and Lil Yachty. I downloaded a song called Broccoli. I don't remember what that's about. Ray Sremmurd and Gucci Mane put out the Black Beatles. That's a pretty famous song. That's like another 2016 hit. Yeah, definitely going back to some of the summer of 2016 like smash hits. Broccoli was another one too. I'm stupid. Yeah, those are more 2016 hits that I didn't really think about until recently, and now I have them on my playlist, so that's good. And then there is another Beatles song, I Want You, in parentheses, She's So Heavy, which is kind of like almost a proto metal song by the Beatles. It's like got a pretty good heavy riff to it, and it's a solid song. It's a little bit long, but it's like kind of interesting, progressive, psychedelic stuff. It sounds almost like kind of like 90s to 2000s stoner metal almost. It's pretty cool. It's a good song. All right, that's about that for music, movies, books. Still reading The Dandelion Dynasty. The intrigue continues. It's a good book. I'll see how kind of the ending plays out, but there's another 2 books after that, so it's going to be a while. I haven't been doing that much reading. Yeah, it's like it's just it's a solid fantasy book. It's got interesting, like theological system and some cool characters and plenty of violence, and so yeah, it's pretty satiating as far as fantasy series go. So that's pretty good. Yeah, don't got a lot of other recommendations. So let's get into the main topic of this episode, which is banking, particularly the follies of modern national banks. And this isn't going to be some like, oh, go buy gold, run on the banks. The bank system is fucking wrong. It's run by the Freemasons and fucking, I don't know, like other people, the other people that we can't talk about, but you know who I'm talking now. You know all the stuff attached to people talking about big banks, but like even from a customer service perspective, it just fucking sucks shit to go to a mainstream bank. And here's the thing, I'm never gonna get a sponsorship from one of these fucking banks. It's never gonna happen. So I'll talk about one of the national ones I use, and I'll give you a little bit of here's the advice part first, right? Don't ever use, well, if you can get away with it, don't use fucking national banks like Bank of America or TD Bank or Chase Bank. Although I don't know if anyone actually makes a Chase Bank account without just getting the credit card first and being rich. But like, never use those banks as like your main bank account where you're keeping like a lot of money, because they've been, not only have they been known to just totally fuck people over at times with just like, just system failures, or just like being greedy with fees and shit like that, and like having maintenance fees on stuff, and like constantly trying to get you to buy other products. They're just not as convenient as you might like. Like, well, okay. So you can start with the opening time. What the fuck is it called? Business hours. Yeah, fucking business hours. Jesus. The business hours for banks, at least where I am, it's like 90% of banks close at like 4 o'clock. Specifically, the bank that I'm going to talk about, which, you know what, fuck it, I'll name names. Come at me. It's fucking Citizens Bank. And I specifically use Citizens Bank because, number one, that doesn't really dox me because Citizens Bank is like all over at least the eastern half of the U.S. And I'm only in the eastern half of the U.S. For half of the year. So half the time, that will only be half true that I'm in the eastern half of the U.S. Using Citizens Bank. But Citizens Bank is my example. It's one of the ones that's pretty common in the area. Bank of America is also around, and like Chase Bank and like a couple other regional ones. But like Citizens is like, it's one of the 2 or 3 like big national ones in my area. And yeah, the hours are just a nightmare. And I did a little research into this, and the reason why banks traditionally had such fucking narrow hours is because all the calculations, like all the counting and all like the writing of ledgers and you know, counting up all the money and shit at the end of the day, it was done by bankers by hand with like fucking pens and paper and like mechanical calculators and shit. And so they needed the extra time during the day, or at least at the end of the day, to just fucking count shit up. And so they can't deal with customers at that point. And at a certain point, labor laws made it so you can't make people work for 15 hours in a fucking vault. So banks had to basically be open really only from like kind of morning times, like 7 or 8, until like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Nowadays, banks do all that shit electronically. So it's not like, as far as I know, it's not like the bank tellers are staying there for fucking hours after their shift or hours after closing time. But certain banks, particularly Citizens Bank, from what I know of, and probably also Bank of America, but I don't fucking go there because they suck and they're like fucking mobsters, and I'm not gonna fucking use them. But at least at Citizens Bank, they still close at like 4 o'clock, which if you're someone who has a full-time job, you might note that that's not conducive to being able to do banking business in the week, which sometimes you want to do. And like this, I had one of these cases this week, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But just to finish up my criticisms of the big banks, other than, you know, the obvious shit, 2008, like it's not easy or fun to use anymore. Number one, everything's online. So if you really love getting like security codes in order to log into stuff using 2 or 3 step processing and like security processes, and if you like, you know, selling all your data, or not even selling it, because it's not like or the bank is just gonna sell your data, or the bank's just gonna have your data. And if you like giving people a bunch of information and getting everything through emails and getting a bunch of offers on your email and through mail, because they'll just do both. Like, they don't give a fuck. I mean, generally speaking, they'll let you just do electronic documents, but if you don't check that off, they'll send you electronic and paper. So, you know, make sure you're just having them do electronic documents, because at least you can just delete that shit out of your inbox. Yeah, they have that. And one thing I figured out recently. Oh, sorry, hang on. One more bit. Second part of the setup is that they have all these fucking maintenance fees and shit. Like in my petty cash account that I use, right? Damn, I've talked about this all out of order. Okay, so advice. You should only use the big national banks for like petty cash accounts. Like shit where it's like you don't really care about having a high yield. you don't care about, potentially losing money. Or I mean, if you're just a fucking billionaire, like multimillionaire, go ahead, use the big banks. They'll have like premium accounts for premium people. But if you're just like a regular Joe Schmo and you're using a national bank, like they're gonna hit you with fees. Like it's not gonna run very well because you're gonna have the free shitty version, like the quote unquote free version, even if they still charge you just for leaving your fucking money in there without depositing anything. Cough cough, Citizens fucking bank. It just sucks. So just like if you just want to have like some cash so you can just go to ATMs without getting ATM fees. If you're in an area where there's a lot of ATMs from a certain bank, just make a petty cash account with that bank. Just make a little checking account, a little savings account, and just swap money between the checking and savings periodically so you don't get hit with the fees. And then you can just take shit out of the ATM when you need cash. Which, by the way, little word of warning to you, a little Nostradamus moment over here. You're going to need fucking cash this year. So, yeah, get that fucking petty cash account going. But I digress. Yeah, only use it for petty cash. Don't use it for big money. They have all the bullshit fees and everything. They do overdraft fees, but overdraft fees, in my opinion, are kind of on you as well. Like, banks shouldn't do it, but, like, it's, don't fucking, don't use your fucking debit card to buy shit when you're not very good at math. Or if you're just, like, don't have the fucking money. That's what credit cards are for. And then you just default on those and go, oh, I don't have any money. And then you go to court for a while. But the third reason, and the one that's that became very personal for me this week, was that no bank has, at least none of the big banks, have fucking coin counting machines anymore. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? If you know what I'm talking about, send me a psychic message right now. Or leave a comment later. Or message me on Blue Sky or whatever, or other fucking thing that you've heard me say before. Yeah, they don't have if you know what the coin machine is, or if you don't know what the coin machine is. If you don't know what a coin counting machine is, take 3. It's basically like a big big machine, big electronic machine with a conveyor belt on it. Where you just kind of steadily dump coins on the conveyor belt, like it just loose change, like whatever, and it'll convey the coins into the mechanical / electronic counter, and it'll count up all your American coins, and it'll spit out like foreign currency or like tokens from an arcade back when arcades still had tokens. I still have tokens from arcades from like fucking like at least like 5 to 10 years ago at least, just kind of rattling around in coin jars because the coin machines used to just keep spitting them out. But it is a very useful machine because a lot of them, like it used to be some of them you didn't even need to have an account with the bank. Sometimes they'd just be nice and they just let you use it. And then you could just like take the voucher afterwards and get fucking cash or like a money order or something. Most places would have you get an account in order to use their coin machine and actually deposit money into an account. But still, it's still pretty convenient. Like the main bank that I use, which is a regional bank from kind of near my hometown, it is great because they had a coin counter machine and you could just use it for free. There was no fee, and then you just take the little, after you counted up everything, it would just give you a little receipt, and you just take that up to the teller, and they'd give you cash or deposit it into your account. It was awesome. It's a good system, especially if you're someone who's kind of like a little bit quaint and old-fashioned, or just don't want to get a bunch of fucking credit card debt or get all your financial information stolen, like me, and want to use cash, and then you have a lot of change left over. Like, it's great. But it became a little bit less great to be like this over the past few years because all of the major banks have been, I don't know if it's like they never had them before, but I know definitely the ones now don't have fucking coin machines in them. Now, what does this mean for you, the customer, / entrepreneur / I don't know, early career person? This means that convenience taken away from you, surprisingly, in an era where like you think like, oh, everything needs to be more like convenient through electronics, but that's actually not the business model anymore. Like, when was the last time you got like a QR code menu and were like, wow, this is so much easier than a laminated menu? It's not about making technology making things easier anymore. It's about technology making things cheaper and like driving engagement. So anything that like, you know, might maybe cost money a little bit in the long run, but increases customer service and customer retention, they're just like, fuck that. They're gonna make more customers. The customers have to come here anyway. So we'll just fucking throw this throw this coin machine in the junkyard, and then you have to like, I don't know, either never deposit coins, only use credit cards, or like Venmo or Cash App or some shit. Even though banks don't really, I don't know. I don't think banks actually fuck with that stuff, but I guess they just kind of want you to do everything online and just, I don't know, get into payment plans so you get hit with overdraft fees. That's how I get into the mind of a banker. That's my opinion. I'm sorry if any of you, if like your dad who ran off on you was a banker and you're like, I wish I could have been a better banker like him, so he would have loved me more. I'm sorry if that happened to you, but I just really couldn't give a fuck. What was I saying? Yeah, coin machines are gone. That sucks, because this week I decided to clean out my car and clean out my drawers and gather up all the coins that I had over the past probably decade, including ones that have been left over from, I guess a weird side tangent. My dad is like pretty fucking old, and he also has like old man hobbies like collecting coins. And so when you got like a bunch of coins that like weren't that rare or valuable, he would give them to me as allowance, because some of these are like dollar coins and shit. And it was actually pretty awesome, because it was like getting a bunch of fucking pirate doubloons for like taking out the trash or like raking leaves or mowing the lawn and shit. And it was actually kind of fucking awesome. But the problem is now I have these coins that like half of cashiers don't fucking even know what to do with them anymore. Like they'll take them usually, but some people are like, and it's like, damn, like this sucks. I don't want to prolong the experience here. So for the most part, they were just kind of sitting in drawers or in a bucket or something like that, or in my car. The biggest issue was coins spilling in my fucking car. So I cleaned all that shit out, put them all in a bucket. And I asked my local bank teller, aka the Citizens Bank, hey, do you guys have a coin machine, or can I deposit coins here? And they were like, no, we don't have that. And it's like, okay, fine. And it's like, but how can I like deposit these somehow? And they're like, well, you can like roll them up and come back and deposit them that way. Which, by the way, I'm 90% sure is a crock of shit, because they 100% have like just dozens and dozens of customers per location that are elderly and like physically and mentally cannot roll coins one at a time into fucking cardboard coin rollers. And they definitely, there's no way that they don't just let like old ladies and stuff dump out a jar of coins on the desk and then count them up for like a fucking hour. They probably just take them to the side and do that and just like, you know, just count out all those coins, because what the fuck else are they going to do? It's U.S. currency. But I decided I didn't want to cause any trouble, and I wanted the count to be, you know, in my favor. So so I brought the coins back home, and I spent 2.5 hours over the weekend counting up all these fucking coins. Which is a pain in the ass, but I was like, yeah, whatever. At some point, like when I get some free time, I'll just go there and drop it into my petty cash fund, and then I'll have like another, you know, $50 to $80, I figured, to just kind of, you know, play around with. Like that's my play money. That's money that I use for, you know, for fucking cash bars, and not that there's that many cash bars anymore, like, you know, cash bars, food trucks, little snack things, I don't know, bribing the mailman to bring my mail faster. I don't know, whatever, wherever else you use cash for, just use your imagination. But it's useful to have, and so I was like, it'll be good to get these coins out of here. We'll clean up my car. Shut up, you. Get the fuck out of here. Don't fucking talk to me that way. Little ass bitch. What the fuck you gonna do? You gonna do that? Oh my god. This little alley cat is gonna fight me. Come here. Hey buddy. Hey buddy. This will be your spot in a minute. Anyway, so I did the whole thing. I went like, fucking stupid piece of shit, Citizens Bank. But whatever, they're cool. I like their color scheme. It's like, it's cool. It's nice. It's whatever. And a little time went by. I didn't really have a lot of time to deposit it. But eventually, in the middle of a work day, I was just, sometimes when I'm at work, especially when I'm working outside, I get into kind of a frenzy of productivity where I'm like, oh, you little bastard, get away from my martini. That's my martini. Come here. Come here. All right. There we go. Settle down there. Settle down right below the microphone. Good guy. Hanging out. All right. Just chill. Don't headbutt the microphone, you little piece of shit. Chill out. Shh. That was him bashing his head into the microphone. So at a certain point in the middle of a long ass work day, I decided like, fuck it. I'll stop by at the Citizens Bank nearest to my apartment and I'll get a slice of pizza for a late ass lunch. At this point, I'd been working like 7.5 hours already, but I was like, whatever. Lunch break. All I had was like shitty coffee for most of the day and like a crappy breakfast sandwich. So I was like, whatever, I'll get some pizza from a new place and I'll go over to the fucking Citizens Bank and deposit these fucking coins that I rolled. They're all in nice coin rolls and then like just some dollar coins. And it's like, they can't get mad at dollar coins. You just fucking count them one at a time. $1, $2, $3. It's fucking easy as shit. I could do it. I could be a bank teller. Anyone can be a bank teller. All you need is a fucking high school diploma. It's not fucking rocket science here. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself, getting a little bit mad ahead of time. But yeah, I got to the Citizens Bank. I didn't realize they closed at 4 because I didn't know of any places other than like breakfast coffee shop cafes that close at like at 4 or like in the afternoon like that. And I definitely didn't think a bank would because I was like, come on, most people work like pretty late into the day, especially with the commute around here in the city. And it's like, oh, who's gonna have time to try and sneak in before 4 o'clock? So I didn't even consider that they closed at 4. I thought they closed at like 5 or 6, perhaps even 6 p.m. Would have been nice, but I was like, nope, it's cool. It's early. It's like 3:30. I have plenty of time. And I got in there. There was a little bit of a line. There's the usual suspects of people who still go to the banks in person, which mostly include the elderly, the homeless, and fucking scrappy young entrepreneurs like myself who are picking up fucking coins off the ground and depositing them in the Cash Patel. What? The Petty Cash Patel? The Petty Cash Bank Fund. Petty cash account at my fucking bank. But yeah, so I got there. I had my little tray of rolled coins, and I got in line. And behind me, there were 2 employees there. One of them was like a teller because she later went behind the desk, and one of them was just this little fucking red-haired fuck guy. He had like short red hair. I don't even know if his hair was short. I just know he was a redhead. And he's just like your average fucking East Coast Irish. I don't even know if he's Irish, but just East Coast redhead shithead, which is like, it kind of sucks because like the one, like let's say the 5% of redheads who are shitheads like that really drag down the reputation of all the other redheads in the world. Like for every fucking George Washington, there's a carrot top. That's perfect. My references for redheads are so fucking dated. I don't know. I guess I could probably fire off like some porn stars. Anyway, this guy was definitely more of like a carrot top because he was doing the shitty jokes too. Because he was like, oh my god, coming in half an hour. Of course, coming in half an hour before we close with fucking coins. And I'm like, well, I'm like not doing anything because at this point I'm fucking tired. I'm tired, and despite my demeanor on these recordings, I really don't argue with people in public that often. It's not really worth it because the only thing I'm going to do by arguing is either I'll be right or I'll shame someone and feel like a fucking school teacher, which is like it's cool to like win that way, except it's not cool. Like it feels good to win the argument, but it makes you feel old and it makes you feel like a fucking bore or like just a mean sour person. Like there's teachers in school who are like just seem so fucking happy to get one over on a kid being like, yeah, that's right, you little underdeveloped brain gremlin. I fucking won the argument because I have a full adult brain and I'm the fucking instructor and I know shit and you don't, and I'm closer to death than you, so I know more than you little fuck. Shit like that. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm projecting a little bit. But the point is like I don't fucking argue with people, and especially because this guy was like just fucking stupid. Because it's like you're 10 feet behind the customer. I'm not visibly, I mean, I have like a beard and shit right now, but I'm not visibly that old. Like I don't look hard of hearing. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I seem like a person who you want to be like making comments about like 10 feet behind their back. But I guess, I don't know. He must have just had a crush on this coworker because she was really nice. And so, I mean, I understand why a little fucking shit wizard like him would be infatuated with her and would want to say literally anything to try and be funny. Just like how I used to be in the workplace. Just say anything about the job in order to be funny, even if it means talking about a customer 10 feet behind their back with something that honestly isn't even a problem. Because once again, it's not like I'm some grandma coming in with a jar of fucking 1,500 loose coins. I already counted the coins for you, shithead. I put them in fucking cardboard rolls. I had to first figure out how to put coins in a roll. Hint, you just kind of put one coin down and then you kind of slide the roll over it upright in an upright position, and then you just just drop other coins through the top of the roll, and they'll usually just land flat side down and stack on top of each other until it's packed tight enough where you can just close off the ends. All right? There you go. A little tutorial for rolling coins for those of you in either money laundering or being frugal. One or the other. But yeah, I had already done all the fucking hard work. I was also coming in. I didn't know your shit-ass bank closed at 4 p.m. because I didn't know any place closed at fucking 4 p.m. Like even now where like the things that are open 24 hours, like that's dead. Like I know that that's dead, but like 4 p.m.? Like, is anyone supposed to get any fucking business done? I guess maybe everyone's just supposed to come in on the weekend, and then it just gets fucking swamped. Because that just sounds insane to me. Like, you have 5 extra days. Like, what else are you doing? I guess just doing, like, spreadsheets and, like, fucking just, like, technical maintenance shit. Because you can't be doing that much fucking money counting during the day, which normally, in my traditional understanding of a bank teller, is what your job is. And then I guess also just trying to sell old people accounts and like trying to get people to do premium accounts and get a debit card or a credit card or a fucking CD or whatever the fuck. That's what I think that Mr. fucking Carrot Top was. I really shouldn't call him that. Yeah, Mr. Carrot Top, that's who he was. I'm pretty sure that's what his job was. He seemed just like a fucking sales guy or just like like maybe some dude who had just kind of graduated from the desk or something, or maybe just he's such an asshole. They're just like, just go in a cubicle and like fucking make our, like, try and redesign our checks, and then once in a while try and make someone get a checkbook or something like that, or make a premium account. Like that seemed like what his job was, because he didn't fucking go behind the desk. The woman he was talking to ended up going behind the desk. I think she tried to smooth things over because she tried to treat me like a young autistic boy with a train set by being like, "Ooh, wow, these coins are like these are some cool coins, dollars, half dollars. I haven't seen these in forever. Wow." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I just my dad's old. He has a bunch of fucking coins. I'm just trying to get them deposited here." And yeah, honestly, it really, like, it's not like the interaction. This is such a fucking nothing story. It's not like the like I'm such just like I'm so fucking anal about the way that people like talk about me and shit. But like the rest of the transaction went totally fine. They just split up the coins. Like two tellers kind of came in. They were like, all right, we'll just split up these coins and just count them up. And they didn't like check the rolls or anything. Like I could have underfilled the rolls and they wouldn't have cared. They just counted up what was on the outside of the wrappers and then deposited it to my checking account, and it was done in about 2 minutes. And it was totally fine. Which it makes me like, I mean, I get it. I get just being like impulsive at work after a long shitty day. But like it's just like his complaint was like such a nothing complaint, because he's not even doing the counting. And really, the people at the desk aren't even doing much of the counting, because they're just looking at what's on the outside of the rolls and then counting fucking dollar coins one by one. And there's only like $6 coins. So it's like, yeah, 6 plus whatever's on the outside of the wrappers. It's not all that difficult. They knew it, but he decided to just talk shit. And if I was if I was a fucking moron, I would have fucking kicked his ass. But yeah, it's just stupid shit like that, because it combined like the annoyance that you get from having just like one person talk shit about you with then just the cumulative annoyance of the inconvenience of modern banking. And it just all came crashing, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? Because I had another 3 hours left in my workday too, so I was just like, fuck this shit. Just let me deposit my fucking coins. And then the same guy had the audacity to be like, oh, we just locked the other doors. Can you go out the front doors there? I don't want the alarm to go off by having me unlock the doors. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Just fucking don't talk to me ever. Just don't talk to me ever. I'm trying to go back to my car. It's one of those things where it's just like, I don't even care. Like, don't even offer an excuse. It does not matter to me. I'm just going to go out the other doors. I'm never going to think about this again. Except as it turns out, I did, and I decided to recite it for the On to the Next Thing podcast, because I am creatively bankrupt and generally low on time and equipment. So sometimes I just gotta recite some anecdotes about depositing coins, which is something that almost no one does anyway. So it's borderline useless advice, unless once again you work at a laundromat or doing money laundering, or just like a weird little frugal collector person like me. I do recommend that if you're gonna use like the big national banks for anything, just use them for just like petty cash funds, just as a way to source money from ATMs, so you don't get hit with like convenience store ATM fees all the time, because there's like, there's Bank of America ATMs everywhere. There's Citizens Bank ATMs, TD Bank ATMs. Like all those banks are fucking everywhere. Santander Bank, although that might, I don't know if that one's national or not, but whatever. Who gives a shit? Chase Bank, shit like that have ATMs everywhere. It makes it easier. If you just put $200 in there. Switch that shit back and forth to avoid the fees, which I fail to do, and which is fucking annoying. It makes me want to like tear my hair out every time I lose $5 from my already low petty cash bank account. But what are you gonna do? That's the price that you pay for the one convenience that large multinational banks still offer, which is the million ATMs that they have everywhere around the country. Yeah, that's about it. That's about that. If you like that story, make sure to leave a comment, or leave a comment saying that you liked it, or tell your own shitty bank story, or tell me that I'm wrong and that I'm being pedantic, and and that I should really just quit podcasting altogether. Make sure to leave that in the comments. Make sure to leave that on Blue Sky and Mastodon. Shoot me an email at otntpodcast at Gmail. The email is otntpodcast at gmail.com. It's the one linked in the YouTube page, which you can also probably DM. I don't think YouTube has DMs yet, so just send an email if you have a business inquiry, or just want to send me a long-winded comment that I'll have to read, instead of the comments on YouTube that I don't actually have to read. Sorry. Also, make sure to drop a like or whatever the fuck. Whatever. All right. This has been a good episode, I think. Make sure to keep on listening. The best is yet to come. And we're gonna have more shit coming soon. Shit's gonna get crazy. It's a crazy year. Shit's gonna get crazy. You don't even know. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.